Self-Care by Amanda and Katie.
Right, why we picked self-care. So after reading Module 1 discussion post, it became clear to us that we are all lacking doing self-care. It's not that we don't know that self-care is important, it just tends to get put on the back burner. But when we are not taking care of ourselves, we are not the best version of ourselves, which means we are not the best teacher we can be. When we're not the best teacher, that affects our students and their learning and their ability to grow and thrive in our classrooms. It affects those relationships with our colleagues, our relationships at home. Self-care ties so much into our happiness and our engagement as shown in heart. When you're not happy, you're not engaged. When you're not engaged, that's going to, again, affect those relationships that you're building in your life. Teachers are experiencing a higher level of stress due to staff shortages, heavy workloads, safety issues, low salaries, mental health, and more, which is causing staff and teachers to burn out at a higher rate. We know this. We're seeing it in our own districts. According to the National Education Association, teacher burnout can be defined as a condition in which an educator has exhausted the personal and professional resources necessary to do the job.
We felt that it was important to know about some facts regarding teacher burnout. K through 12 teachers have been reported as the highest burnout rate of all U.S. professions. More than 4 out of every 10 teachers have noted that they feel burnt out always or very often. 25% of teachers said that they are likely to quit within the next 2 years. In the 2022 Gallup poll, teaching was the top profession for burnout in the United States. Female teachers reported higher burnout rates than males. 55% female teachers said they were burnt out compared to 44% male teachers. 55% of educators plan on leaving the profession earlier than planned. Here are some additional teacher facts. 78% of educators say that low pay is a serious issue for teachers. 62% of teachers want districts to step up with support for discipline. 84% of teachers spend their own money on basic school supplies with an average of $860 a year. 86% of school districts report difficulty hiring for new teachers.
All right, so the 3 R's for teacher self-care. So the 3 R's for teacher self-care are first, reflect, release, and then recharge. When you're reflecting, you're taking time to think about yourself and the school year. When you're releasing, you're taking that time to let go of unfinished business, grief, regrets, and feelings, getting everything out into the open, letting go of the hold on your negative emotions. When you're holding on to those negative emotions, it's going to tear a person up, along with being able to block your ability to fully and truly unwind, relax, and release. And then finally, recharge or reset, making the time to take care of yourself, finding your purpose and sense in your career. All right, so the first step in self-care is that reflection. If you're struggling with where to begin, one strategy that you can use is called the rose, thorn, and bud. So you think about this as, part of a rose. The rose, for example, is where you're going to pinpoint what's working well for you both professionally and personally. So you can be intentional about continuing those practices. What gives you joy or recharges you physically, mentally, and spiritually? This is supposed to be the point of what really makes you blossom and you do really well. The thorn. The thorn is going to be those challenges that you face. Identify those challenges and then think about what support is available for you to overcome them. Make a conscious effort to let go of the things that are outside your control and focus on what you can. This is where that circle of influence and control can come in to help you eliminate out those factors. And then finally, the bud, the chance for new growth. Explore ideas that you wish to learn more about that are going to help you then in your self-care journey. Right. As you're going through your self-reflection, here are some questions that you can think about just to help you with the process. So just a daily reflection. What has been a challenge for you today? What is one positive or joyful moment or one that you had today? So something that went really well. Think about one person that has helped you today. Reach out to them. Say thank you. For example, just send a quick email or pop in the room and say, hey, I really appreciate that help. Thank you so much. Now, for a deeper self-reflection, as you head into summer, think about how would you describe the past school year? Can you find a metaphor to describe it? What is the challenge you had this year? What could you do differently? What are 2 or 3 wins you had this year and the resources that helped you achieve them? Have you put others' needs before yours? How do you want to feel at the end of the summer? What are 5 to 10 activities you want to do this summer that are going to help you recharge? Think about something that you enjoy or a new hobby you want to try. And then finally, what are you looking forward to in the upcoming school year? All right, the next step is release. So here's a really simple exercise that you could use to help you release those regrets. Start out by taking 5-10 minutes and just reflect and think about the school year. Think about, how have you been feeling? What were the thoughts you're having this year? How are you living? Then identify any emotions, thoughts, and behaviors that you want to release. Write down all the words or phrases that are capturing those regrets and griefs. You could also use images. You could use a recording, anything to really capture what you're feeling inside. Then engage in a ritual to release your regrets, such as tearing out the paper, crushing it, shredding it, whatever works best for you. No matter what you choose to do, the goal is to leave those regrets and feelings behind. As you're doing this, put on your favorite song or guided meditation. Now, think about how you feel releasing those regrets. All right, the next step is release. So here's a really simple exercise that you could use to help you release those regrets. Start out by taking 5-10 minutes and just reflect and think about the school year. Think about, how have you been feeling? What were the thoughts you're having this year? How are you living? Then identify any emotions, thoughts, and behaviors that you want to release. Write down all the words or phrases that are capturing those regrets and griefs. You could also use images. You could use a recording, anything to really capture what you're feeling inside. Then engage in a ritual to release your regrets, such as tearing out the paper, crushing it, shredding it, whatever works best for you. No matter what you choose to do, the goal is to leave those regrets and feelings behind. As you're doing this, put on your favorite song or guided meditation. Now, think about how you feel releasing those regrets. Taking it to the next step. First thing when it comes to self-care, you got to keep yourself accountable. Right? After, if you need a little bit more, you need more detail, check out this website here. Advid breaks the teacher self-care down into actually 12 hours versus the 3. So they're looking at different components of our daily schedule and ways that we can improve on taking care of ourselves. So super useful tool here for you.
Here are some teacher self-care strategies for during the day. During the day, our days can get really busy, and here's a couple items that we could keep in our desk or things that we could do for a little pick-me-up. We could have tea, chocolate, a protein booster, such as nuts or a granola bar, healthy snacks, or a stress ball. For times where there's like passing time or prep time and we have a couple extra minutes for ourselves, we could do some stretches or yoga poses. We can get out of the building and go get some fresh air and change our scenery and take a mindful moment and pay attention to your breathing to center yourself. So doing some of those deep breathing exercises. After a long, tough day at work, here are some different ideas for energizing and or unwinding. We can get creative and do different hobbies that we enjoy, such as quilting, drawing, playing guitar and music, baking, singing. And then another good thing to do is connect with others that fill your tank. Share project ideas with your fellow teachers, make positive phone calls to parents, spend time with loved ones, spend time with your animals, or you can always give back to your community by volunteering. Here are different ways that we can unwind. We can watch mindless TV shows, which are my favorite, take a hot bath, read a book, listen to music, meditate, or on your way home or when you're driving, take the scenic route or a different way home than what you normally would do. Here are different ways that we can get our body moving through running, dancing, yoga, CrossFit. We could go for a walk, bike ride. Instead of always taking the elevator, we could take the stairs. Also, with getting our body moving, it helps us with our engagement and being focused at work.
If you're finding that you need more, you want to take this to the next step further, if you're someone who really likes books to help guide you with processes like this, definitely check out some of the recommendations we have here. The Teacher's Guide to Self-Care is one of the top ones on Amazon. It has great resources and just, again, kind of helping with that guidance and really reflection piece. I like this 180 days of self-care just because it's simple little things to do, super inexpensive, and it helps get you back into the practice of taking care of yourself. Soul is by the same author as our heart text. It's a really great one for soul searching, so just kind of taking it to the next step. If you really enjoyed heart, I encourage you to check that one out. I know that's on my own personal list. And just some things to help you with selecting a book. So think about what you want for self-care. Are you looking for strategies, soul searching? Are you trying to break bad habits, develop new ones? And then, of course, read the reviews. They're going to share about the experience of the book. You might find someone who's going through something similar as you. They might tell you that this book, hey, really isn't meeting what I'm looking for. So check those out. And if you need more, here's some additional books and resources that you can check into to help you with that process.
We want to recognize that everyone's self-care looks a little different. What might work for me might not work for someone else. So it's really important to look at the different strategies and figure out what strategy helps you fill your toolbox. Something that energizes you, something that helps you unwind, something that helps manage your stress when you're having a hard time. Here's a question that we want to ask you. What does your self-care look like to you?